Okay, I think we're going again. This time we're talking about Egypt, and I think more generally the technology of the World Wide Web and internet and basically mobile phones too have had a tremendous impact on the popular uprisings in the Middle East. We have seen, I think, an interesting fact about technology. In When the Iranian election was contested and thought to be rigged a couple of years ago, the population, especially in Tehran, protested dramatically, and that protest seemed to have been orchestrated quite substantially through Twitter technology and took the regime by surprise. More recently, Egypt has also had a popular uprising and gotten rid of Hosni Mubarak. And again, it looks like internet technology, World Wide Web technology, specifically Facebook, but also Twitter, seem to have also played a role. So both of them played a fairly strong role. A lot was made of the Twitter's role in the Iranian protests, and it's often emphasized that the technology is used dramatically for organizing the population, and that's true. But the two situations actually show the contrast. In the Iranian case, the government was successful at tamping down the protesters, and the regime seemed to have gotten even more hard line as a result of the uprising, whereas in Egypt, of course, they were successful and they managed to get rid of their dictator. So the technology served in both cases, but it emphasized the fact about technology, which is it's just technology. It's neither good nor bad. You can use it for positive purposes, like trying to get rid of a very, very bad dictator. And you could be successful. But in all likelihood, it won't be the technology that drives the rebellion. I think that's one of the problems with the reporting on all these situations in the Middle East. It's an organizing tool, and it works just like leaflets could work and things like that. It just has the broader reach that makes it much more effective at this point. But it's certainly not going to guarantee a successful revolution, and it can be manipulated. As we saw in Egypt's case, the government tried to shut down the internet and actually crippled it very badly for several days in an effort to try to stem the protests. And they used mobile phone technology. They basically broadcast to their police forces to basically fight back the protesters midway during the protest period, and as a result, there was a lot of clashes and people got killed and so forth. So it was actually quite dangerous, and they just simply used the phone by not trying to attract attention to their sites or anything. They just ordered the phone company to do contact all of the police. It emphasizes another important point, and that is that when you have a centralized operation like a phone company, then it's easy enough for the government to manipulate it. And in fact, that was sort of the problem with the centralization of the internet too, that they were able to pull the plug, so to speak. Whereas the more things are decentralized, the less effective a regime can be at knocking down the capabilities of it. So a strong advantage of the internet and the World Wide Web technology is that it's totally decentralized. Nobody's in charge, and many contributors produce this whole thing. They are very difficult to control as a result, and therefore are a really effective medium for popular uprisings like we saw in Egypt. And I think that's what I'm going to say.